I was looking at some ducks flying over, whistling wings. I've realized I haven't talked much about the pigs. We're never going to say pigs are easy, especially our first year doing them. But man, we just took them to the butcher today, so I got some footage of training them on, of going into the trailer. And actually, we didn't get any footage of putting them in the trailer this morning because we put the scraps in, and they walked just in. There's Stella, Daisy. Actually, backwards. They moved at me, Stella. Daisy got Murph separated for milking for tomorrow morning. But the pigs went really well. So overall, very pleased with raising them. I just had a light bulb moment today tonight as I was cleaning up the yard, like, man, I got to go somewhere with the scraps. You know, they've been our dumpster, if you will. So anyway, again, we gonna share some footage on just training them and loading them, and we didn't have to force them all. They literally walked right in. William closed the door, I walked out. Good to go. Pigs are at the butcher, and hopefully down the road we can figure out our inputs and cost, and once we get the cuts back, we'll have to smoke some and let you know they are. Checking in on the pigs as they go in for butcher in a few days. You know, this is our first time doing pigs, and we'll see how much they end up at. I don't know, I think it'll be a little bit lighter than the average person knows, but I don't know. So the system here worked honestly extremely well, you know, as far as leaving pigs. Boy, I feel like we haven't talked about these guys in forever. Leaving them in one spot and using deep bedding. So generally speaking, the pigs were always pooping on this side over here. And we were constantly, or not constantly, but consistently was the word I meant to use there, adding some type of carbon. Old straw bales I got for free, an old round bale, wood chips, anything that would provide what we call deep bedding into here throughout the whole pen. But again, they mostly pee and poop here. But on top of that, the incredible thing is all of the chicken guts over this year, which is a couple hundred birds, ended up in here. You can see some remnants of the feathers. And one is, hey Dolores, one is the, sorry, brain fart. The pigs would eat it, eat the chicken, the guts, everything, literally. And then the other part is we would bed on top of it after a while once the smell came up. So honestly, it was, it's been a success. I haven't loaded them yet, right? For those of you that know pigs, talk to me then, or I should talk to you then. So we did a T-post system with cattle panels and found that it worked very well. These were not trained to electric fencing. I think next year I'll probably do that. So sorry for the wind here, but all this underbrush here, and it's actually was thicker than this in the spring and summer. That's what this looked like. So next year, or maybe the year after, it'll take a little bit, but this will be the compost, either spread amongst the field or put into the garden. So, you know, we're constantly adding that carbon to it, so it degrades over time and provides you topsoil. So pigs are going to market. Dolores is excited. How's Newman doing? Newman's ready to go. Newman says eat more bacon. The first few months, we didn't have a gravity feeder, and I think maybe that held them back a little bit. Worked really well as we had an IBC tote up here, the tarps on it to keep the LJ from growing. I filled it up, I think 2 or 3 times this year, and it's just gravity feeds. So we're using the topography here to gravity feed, and I really bought this for 50 bucks at Fleet Farm. The dual nipple works excellent, and they train. They're intelligent, and 2, they're curious. You get trained to that pretty quickly. So going into next year, I think we're going to incorporate milk, especially since we have 2 cows in it. And I was reading a study from Penn State that talked about the advantages and feed cost savings when you're using milk. Of course, there's a cost of input to the milk, the cow. Well, you know, I'm gonna do that regardless. But we're gonna have several of these pens set up in here, and we're gonna use this to clear it, because eventually 50% or so of the trees that are in here, I want them out, because I want to create silvopasture in here, which is, you know, grass underneath the canopy of trees, but you need to thin it out so that the sun can reach down to the woods floor. So, all right, I'm rambling too long like always. Good update for the pigs. So we got this pig set up here, got the trailer backed in. These logs are just, I don't think they get in those gaps. It's just while we orientate them over the next day. So I built this pen with basically a cattle panel separating, and it's been pulled back this entire time. And this is the chute they're used to coming through. So the plan here is familiarize them over the next day or so at feed. And we used another cattle panel. We're basically going to use it as a squeeze chute. You know, more than one guy, obviously, because it's very flimsy. But if we can't catch them in there right away, we can at least hopefully get them close and push them from there. And when we go to do that, these logs will be out of the way beforehand, so everything can just be closed right up. Another thing I had to think about, I had this sitting here last night, and the 3-point settled on the tractor, and the back end came up. So we block the hit, so when the 3-point pressure comes off, the back of the trailer still stays down to keep our safe gap here. Time to make bacon. Introducing the pigs, first time to the trailer. We just put some food up in there. Are you serious? We don't need to take them home, take them in yet till tomorrow or the day after. What just happened? I better go like that tomorrow. So yeah, you just saw that they went through the training, and when it came to load them this morning, as I mentioned, they walked right on. They, just like they did in training, close the door, off to the butcher. William asked me today if I felt any connection to the pigs or any sorrow as we drove them into the butcher, and I won't arrogantly say no, but I'll say, I said to him no, because this is the role that they serve. And we appreciate the time that we had with them, and our best contribution to that lifestyle, or that, I'm sorry, that best contribution to appreciation is giving them the best lifestyle that we can. And it becomes a cliche that, you know, one bad day, you know, the day that they go to butcher, but Newman and Dolores were appreciated while they're here. But let's be honest, they'll be appreciated as frying up his bacon in the skillet as well. So have a great day.